Hey guys, Mega Man NG here, and it's time for another Flash Weekly episode review. To let everyone know, we only have about 2 more episodes left, or rather, next week is the penultimate episode, and then following after that is the season finale. And let me tell you, it's going to be crazy and intense. This week we're going to be talking about the Runaway Dinosaur. One thing to note, though, is that this episode was directed by Kevin Smith. You guys know Kevin Smith. Well-known director, actor, you get the idea. However, here, there is a lot I do want to say about this episode because, I'm going to be honest, it was emotional and it was good. And why would I need a summary to explain it? Basically, this entire episode is about Barry getting his powers back, along with the fact that he has to cope with the death of his own mother, Nora Allen. And Kevin Smith really did an amazing job on the episode. It was just amazing. It really is. Just from the start of the episode all the way to the end, you can know that the feels are going to be insanely high. I'm saying it as a fact. When I saw the episode, I was glued to the screen to find out what had happened to Barry after the accident that recreated his powers. What happened was that Barry ended up in the Speed Force, and it decided to assume a physical manifestation for Barry, of course. So you get to see Barry in the Speed Force, but the Speed Force itself basically assumed the form of, a completely different world. And all throughout, he encounters versions of the people he knows. First, there was Joe, his surrogate father. Then came Iris, who was Barry's friend, and I have a feeling it's going to be a love interest. Then his father, Henry Allen, played by John Wesley Shipp, a.k.a. the 90s Flash. And I've got to admit, seeing the two together is just enough. And you can obviously feel the rage and the pain that Barry just experienced. I mean, you guys already know that Barry is a tragic character. A hero that has experienced so much pain and sorrow that it's enough to make you wonder, how could he still be standing in spite of all the tragedy that he suffered? And yeah, it was emotional. But the meat of it all was at the end when Barry got to meet an apparition of his mother, Nora Allen. And to Barry, Nora is the most important person of his life. When Barry was young, his mother was murdered, and his father was charged with his murder. When his mother was gone, it was like a piece of Barry just thrown away. And all throughout his life, he continued to deny owning his death because he always felt that someone was responsible for it. We already know who it was, and it was Eobor Thawne. But my God, it was just emotional seeing the two meet and seeing Barry break down. It was just one of the most emotional moments ever. One of the strongest moments of the episode. And seeing the two spend time together, it was just tearful. It made me cry. It really did make me cry. And the good news is that Barry got his powers back, because in the end, Barry was able to accept his mother's passing and move on. Because that's basically the theme of the entire episode. Barry accepting what he had lost in order to obtain what he had gained. In this case, Barry got his powers back, and he's back as the Flash. Not to mention a much more developed character. Oh, and I forgot to mention the other plot, which basically involves Iris, Joe, Henry, and everybody else trying to deal with a zombie girder. And it was like a horror film. And it was done well, though the zombie girder thing was kind of padding. But it was a good kind of padding, to be honest. It really was very good. It was a good kind of padding, and it actually was nice seeing them be creative. And they really did a good job on it. Ugh. There are so many things I loved about the episode that it was just insane. It was just nuts. It was just so emotional. It made me cry, and I wanted to rewatch the episode again because of how strong it was. And the feels for it are insane, especially with Barry having to confront different, other versions of the people he knows. And in the end, it provided a satisfying conclusion with Barry regaining his powers. Although he now has his powers, but now he has to deal with a new threat. Zoom. Yes, Zoom doesn't appear at all in the episode until the very, very end, when he has gathered a metahuman army that's set to take over Central City of Earth-1. Now time is really against Barry. Really. I will say right here, Grant Gustin was just phenomenal. He did a phenomenal job as Barry. I can consider this one of the best performances Grant Gustin has ever done. One of the best. And there was humor. There was lots of humor, especially with Cisco. Anything that Cisco does in the episode, a.k.a. Carlos Valdez, just amazing. I loved it. It was just so humorous that it made me laugh at some moments. And in the end, now that Barry's back, now they got to take the fight to Zoom. Next week and the week after is going to be big. It's going to be huge. As for my rating of The Runaway Dinosaur, I hereby give this episode a 9 out of 10. The only reason why this does not get a perfect 10 in my book, unlike last week's episode, which is the second best episode of the season, is because of the Girder bits. Girder didn't really add too much. It was just like padding, but in a good kind of padding, to set up for Barry's return. And now that Barry's back, it's going to be nuts. Next week's episode is going to be a crazy one. An all-out war, to say the least. But it's also going to lead up to the big finale that's going to happen in 2 weeks. So you better keep an eye out for that. Like I said, there are 2 weeks left. 2 episodes left. Next week is going to be the penultimate episode. And the week afterwards will be the season finale. After that, there will be no more reviews of The Flash until maybe Season 3. If you guys want me to review Season 3, please let me know in the comments, and I hope to hear what you guys think of the episode. So yeah, that's about it for this episode. Give props to Kevin Smith because he did a great, fantastic job. Kevin Smith, Mr. Smith, if you're watching this video, I hope that you get another chance directing an episode of The Flash in Season 3 because you, sir, delivered. I mean it. You delivered on so many levels. Alright, that's it. That's it for my review. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. It really does mean a lot to me. And I'll see you next week when we tackle the penultimate episode of The Flash Season 2. And a little something to let you guys know, all my reviews, no matter what they are, whether it be Ace Attorney, whether it be TMNT, Flash, they're all under fair use. Besides, it's not like I upload anything that's copyrighted, right? I'm just a guy providing my opinion. Alright, that's it. This is Mega Man NG, signing off. Peace out.